Welcome back to the class, guys. In the networking module second chapter, you have seen how to change the MAC address of a Windows 10 machine, or you can change MAC address of any Windows computer using a utility called as tmac that you have already learned how to change the MAC address. So this is a short class on changing MAC address on Linux machines. So in here we are going to learn how to change the MAC address of Kali Linux machine. Okay, and we have a utility already installed. So let me start a root terminal, and we need root account in order to change the MAC address. So type the password, and we have a utility called Macchanger, Macchanger. So let's see the version it's installed. So we have Macchanger, GNU Macchanger 1.7.0. This is the version of Macchanger. Using this utility, you can change the MAC address on Kali Linux machine. So let's see how to change the MAC address of Kali Linux machine. Before that, let me type help for the commands. So we have H for help commands. So that prints the help over here. We have seen the version, and -s will show the MAC address of this current machine. And we are going to use MAC address Macchanger -s, and here you have to actually mention the interface. So what is the interface we want to change the MAC address? For that, you have to type the command if config. So currently I have two interfaces, one is H0 and other is a loopback address. If you are connecting using your Wi-Fi, then you will have WLAN 0. So you have to use WLAN 0 in order to change the MAC address of your Wi-Fi adapter. But since I'm using a cable connection, I have H0 as the interface. So I'm going to change the MAC address of this H0. So before that, I have to see the MAC address. So Macchanger -s and H0. So it will print the MAC address, current MAC address and the permanent MAC address. So below down is the permanent MAC address of this Kali Linux machine, and that's what is the current MAC address. When we change the MAC address, the permanent remains a permanent, but the current MAC address will change. So what is the command? So let me type help once again. As you can see, we have a -a. It is a switch that is used to set the random vendor MAC address of same kind. If you use capital A, set random MAC address of any kind. So let me change the MAC address, Macchanger -a and H0. Now as you can see, the permanent MAC address is 08002738 FBN33, and the current MAC address is the same, but the new MAC address is 0000 F2 3B B9 and 70. I said the current MAC address will change, right? So let's see the MAC address once again, -s and H0. Now the current MAC address should change, right? As you can see, the permanent MAC address is always a permanent, that is actually given by the manufacturer of this NIC card. Basically, I have installed this machine in a virtual box, so you will get a virtual NIC from the virtual box, and this is the current MAC address. That the new MAC address was now showing as a current MAC address. If you want to restore your permanent MAC address again as a current MAC address, then the command is -p. As you can see, we have p switch over here, reset the original permanent hardware MAC address. So what you will do is Macchanger -p, and on H0 we have to mention it. And as you can see, the permanent MAC address is new MAC address. However, the current MAC address is the previously changed MAC address. So if I type -s now, it is actually already changed, but it's not showing. So let me see it. As you can see now, current MAC address and permanent MAC addresses are same. So this is a short video class on changing the MAC address, guys. So in the next class, or from the next class, we will see how to stay anonymous on the system. So we will start with VPNs in the next class. So that's it in the class, guys. Have a great day. Thank you for watching the video, and do subscribe to the YouTube channel INSECTECHS.